Looking at the main street of Fort Benton today, you might not realize that this is where our part of the West really got its start. The town's glory days of 160 years ago, well, they're pretty much long gone. But you can still look out the windows of the Grand Union Hotel onto the banks of the Missouri River. And a replica of the original Fort Benton, the fur trading post that gives the town its name, still stand at the same spot where it was built 160 years ago, the place the farthest west upstream on the Missouri River that steamboats could safely navigate. This was a jumping off point for prospectors, adventurers, and of course, the whiskey traders, the guys that built the southern Alberta forts like Fort Whoop-Up, Fort Kip, Fort Standoff, forts whose existence directly led to the formation of the Northwest Mounted Police. I decided to follow one of their trails. You head north from Fort Benton out onto the prairie, first across the Teton River, past herds of antelope, and then on to the crossing of the Marias River. There's not much to see of the original Whoop-Up Trail, but up by Shelby there's a cairn that marks the original route, and if you look carefully, you might see some wagon ruts. Shelby itself is a bustling little town, and the nightlife there, well, I guess it's kind of typical of the Whoop-Up Trail. From Shelby it's on to Kevin, through the old oil field there, which is well worth a visit in itself, then up to Rattlesnake Coulee and Rocky Springs. From there it's just a quick jump up to the border. Here's the main street of Sweetgrass, Montana, and yeah, I got a little nervous taking these pictures crossing the border. Once you're into Alberta though, you're back into grassland. You cross the Milk River just north of Del Bonita and you'll come across these buffalo. The trade in the hides of their ancestors was the reason for the Whoop-Up Trail and the whiskey trade in the first place. An hour later you've arrived. The original Fort Whoop-Up was at the junction of the St. Mary and the Old Man Rivers. A replica of the post now sits in the river bottom at Lethbridge. The heyday of the whiskey post was very short-lived, but they helped create the southern Alberta that we know today. And even more than in Ottawa and Washington, southern Alberta's history began here at Fort Benton on the banks of the Missouri River.